Okay, so in this video about JasmyCoin, I want to answer a very important question, and it's this. According to some analysts on YouTube, JasmyCoin can go to somewhere around 70 cents because we are having a very solid bullish pattern in here. So I'm going to today check that pattern and tell you what are my thoughts on it, and is 70 cents actually a realistic target for that pattern or not. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones. And before we start today's video, I need to tell you that today I'm doing a market update for my members, and I'm going to tell you what is happening in Bitcoin and what might be next for BTC and also potentially a lot of altcoins. So if you want to have access to those informations, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. If you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. Let's get on with our video and see what is going on. And before we go check out that pattern, let me give you a quick short-term analysis and see what is happening in here. So in my analysis, I use a lot of Elios waves. And if you want to argue that, for example, we are going to have our final bottom around here, maybe this is like a very important support, then okay, you must be able to find off of the lowest low a 5-wave up. Rules for this thing are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4 if we're going to have a normal 5-wave, and in any kind of impulsive structure, wave 3 should not be the smallest wave. Now, let's go around here and see what is happening. So this point right in here, about let's say 2.6 cents is the lowest low. And off of it, so far, if I want to argue that this and this move are going to be from the same degree, then okay, unfortunately, this is a correction structure and not an impulse. And this got confirmed when we got this move down, and in it, we took this low right in here. So what's the plan? Well, I think there still might be some hope for JasmyCoin, because we can argue that this is definitely an impulse, fair enough, but followed by that, starting from this side and ending to somewhere around the recent price action, who knows, maybe even a bit lower, we are going to have a correction down, and it might be in form of an ABC expanded flat, which looks like this. This is our initial move down into a correction for wave B, which in it we are going to take this high and then another move down into our C leg. And in this phase, we are going to take the low of our A leg. And for our sub waves, ABC down into A, ABC or a WXY up, doesn't really matter, into our B leg, and a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into our wave C. Understood? Okay, now let's go on the live chart and see what is happening. So right away, I can definitely tell you that this move down seems to be, at least so far, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Before that, I can definitely identify an ABC zigzag in this phase on the upside. Maybe we are going to have something like this. And this move down can also be an ABC structure. If I just do this one, excuse me. There we go. Now, here's the thing. On a higher degree, if you want to be bullish in JasmyCoin, you can argue that this move is an ABC expanded flat, and this is a 5-wave up. And even on a higher degree, we might be dealing with a 1, 2, which suggests that the next move is actually going to be a big one up into wave 3, 4, 5. So far, we had two different possibilities. This scenario suggests the bottom is in, and soon we are going to get a big move up in Jasmy. The other one suggests that overall, in this phase, we are having a correction and not an impulse, and after it's over, or maybe it's over, we're gonna get a move down. That's really genius, isn't it? Basically, so far, I told you, we might go up or maybe down. So what's the point in here? You see, in my opinion, soon in Jasmy, we are going to get a move on the upside. Why is that? What happens after a 5 down? A move up, and the shape of that move to me is going to determine what overall might be next in Jasmy. If we are going to have a very slow and choppy move, something like this, okay, odds are this is a correction and this is an impulse, and it means, unfortunately, we are going to continue our move down. On the other hand, if our comeback is going to be a very strong move, a 5-wave on the upside, in order to, who knows, maybe even straight away take this high right in here about 3.6 cents, then okay, that's going to be a bit of a different story, and we are going to still stick with our bullish possibility. And I think in the previous video, we talked about it. This is a low. The other one in here is actually a lower low. And in this area, we are having some strong bullish divergences, which is a fantastic sign. Also, one of my viewers in the previous video said, why do I not mention the divergence that we have in RSI indicator? You know what? Fair enough. What do we have in here in H4 time frame? Again, this is a low, the other one is a lower low. However, on the live chart, this is a low, the other one is a higher low. So in MACD and RSI, we are having some bullish divergences, which is fantastic. But again, I don't think that right now we should 1000% be bullish in JasmyCoin. Let's wait for this move up right in here and see, are we going to have a correction or maybe a very strong impulse? And that, my friends, is the extent of the short-term analysis that we are going to do today. Now let's zoom out a bit more, and maybe it's best to go on another chart, which is maybe a bit less busy. Let's say Coinbase. Yeah, sure. Okay. So let's just delete all these things, excuse me, and zoom out a bit more. Okay. So I watched recently a YouTube video which in it they said, we are having in JasmyCoin a head and shoulder pattern, a bullish one. And I think this was our left shoulder, followed by that. This is our head, and this might be our right shoulder, and this is the neckline for it right in here. Excuse me. There we go. Now, they said if we get a break of this neckline, the next target is going to be somewhere around the 70 cents area. Why is that? Because if you want to measure the target of a head and shoulder, you need to measure the height of your pattern and put it at your breaking point from here to about, excuse me, this point. There we go. Let's say we are going to break our pattern in this area. What's going to be the target at that point? Okay, as you can see, somewhere around 70 to potentially even 80 cents area. So what's the problem with this thing? Well, unfortunately, this is not the correct way to analyze this pattern. Sure, we may have a head and shoulder structure. Personally, I do not believe that. I think this looks a lot like a cup and a very classic handle pattern. And I do think that in Jasmy, in this cycle, odds are that we are going to get a break of this pattern. However, the targets for it are not going to be somewhere around the 70 cents area. Why is that? This is a very important point, and I need you to pay full attention to what I'm about to say. There is no such thing as measuring your target in logarithmic chart, okay? First things first, you need to put the chart on regular scale. There we go. And now let's measure our head and shoulder target. Excuse me. There we go. Starting from here to about this point. And now let's put this thing at our breaking point. What's going to be the target? Somewhere around 9.5 to 10 cents. This is the proper way to analyze this pattern, okay? The people who are telling you based on this thing, we are going to go to somewhere around 70 cents and we're going to get like a 20x move on the upside. I just don't know where they learned technical analysis. Where I learned it, they didn't really tell me that we should measure our target on logarithmic scale. I just find that extremely hard to believe. Now the question is, let's say, well, okay, this chart is on regular scale and the target for this pattern is going to be somewhere around the 10 cents area. Can we reach to about here? The answer is absolutely yes. Why is that? You see, this is a very important resistance from weekly and daily time frame at the same time. And this is a very important point. If we get a break of this thing, meaning we go above it, do a pullback, and followed by that a continuation of the move up, this is important because above here, we're not really having a whole lot of strong resistances, okay? Makes sense to say that our move on the upside in Jasmy is going to continue to where? To somewhere around the next important resistance, which is actually somewhere around the 10 cents area. So this is why I believe JasmyCoin is still looking fantastic and bullish. And I do think this whole move down is a correction structure. And after it's over, we are going to have another move on the upside. But the 70 cents target, that's probably great for YouTube videos, depending on how many views this video is going to get. And if we guess, for example, 3,000 views, then okay, the next time in JasmyCoin, I promise you and guarantee it, we are going to do a JasmyCoin to $20 video with a question mark, and we are going to go to absolute moon. So I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in JasmyCoin's chart. Anyway, If you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next video, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved us. Goodbye.